Commander Zixathara of the Eternal Fleet stared at the tactical display with all four of her primary eyes, her crystalline carapace reflecting the crimson warning lights that bathed the bridge. For 3,000 cycles, her people had been the undisputed masters of this galaxy. Their energy weapons could crack planets. Their shields could withstand the fury of dying stars, and their vessels moved faster than light itself. But now, impossible as it seemed, they were losing. "Status report," she commanded, her voice carrying the harmonic frequencies that denoted absolute authority among her kind. Sub-Commander Velkthan's antennae drooped in defeat. "The human debris field has expanded another 12 sectors, Supreme One. Our fastest interceptors cannot breach their defenses." Zixathara's mandibles clicked in frustration. Debris field. That's what they had taken to calling humanity's latest abomination against the natural order of warfare. 3 months ago, when the humans had first deployed their trash armada, the Eternal Fleet had laughed. How could a species that had barely achieved interstellar travel hope to challenge beings who had mastered the fundamental forces of reality? The answer, it turned out, was by completely abandoning every principle of civilized combat. "Show me the recordings again," Zixathara ordered. The holographic display flickered to life, showing the moment when humanity's desperate gambit had first revealed itself. The human homeworld of Earth hung defenseless before the might of the Eternal Fleet. Its primitive defenses no match for weapons that could atomize matter at the quantum level. Victory had been assured, inevitable. Then the humans had activated their plan. Every piece of space debris in their solar system, derelict satellites, spent rocket stages, fragments from destroyed stations, even literal garbage bags ejected from early space missions had suddenly sprung to life. Tiny thrusters, barely visible to their sensors, had been attached to each piece of refuse. Primitive AI systems, laughably simple by Eternal Fleet standards, guided each fragment with single-minded purpose. The debris wasn't trying to destroy their ships. It was trying to get in the way. "Analysis confirms our previous assessments," reported Chief Scientist Morthek, her translator struggling with human tactical concepts that had no equivalent in their language. "The humans have weaponized inefficiency. Each piece of debris follows erratic, unpredictable flight patterns. Our targeting systems cannot lock onto objects that have no coherent strategy." It was true. The Eternal Fleet's weapons were designed to engage enemy vessels that followed logical attack patterns, predictable formations, and rational tactics. Their computers could calculate the trajectory of any projectile following ballistic physics or guided by intelligent systems. But humanity's trash followed no such rules. A discarded beverage container from the early 21st century would suddenly accelerate toward their fleet, then inexplicably veer off to chase a mining drone. An obsolete communication satellite would spin wildly while firing its improvised thrusters in random directions, creating a flight path that defied mathematical modeling. Thousands of fragments of destroyed space stations moved in patterns so chaotic that their quantum computers gave up trying to predict their locations. "Supreme One," Velkthan reported, his voice carrying undertones of bewilderment. "Sector 7 reports that battlecruiser Infinite Blade has been inconvenienced." Inconvenienced? A human waste disposal unit collided with their primary sensor array. The impact caused no damage, but the contents of the unit have distributed across their hull. The crew reports that the psychological effect is more devastating than any weapon we have encountered. Zixathara's compound eyes widened. The humans hadn't just militarized their garbage, they had militarized their refuse. Their literal waste was now floating through space, guided by simple AI systems programmed with one directive: get in the way of anything that looked important. "How many objects are we tracking?" she asked. "Current estimates suggest approximately 400 million individual pieces of debris, ranging in size from paint flecks to entire decommissioned space stations. Each one is following a completely unique and seemingly random trajectory." The magnitude of it was staggering. Humanity had taken 300 years of space exploration, with all its abandoned projects, failed experiments, and accumulated detritus, and turned it into the most effective defensive system ever conceived. Not because it was advanced or powerful, but because it was utterly, completely unpredictable. "Their strategy makes no sense," Morthek continued. "A rational species would have consolidated their resources, built better weapons, developed superior defenses. Instead, they have embraced chaos itself as a weapon." But Zixathara was beginning to understand. Humans didn't think like other species. Where the Eternal Fleet saw waste, humans saw opportunity. Where others saw random motion, humans saw infinite possibility. They had looked at the fundamental problem of asymmetric warfare and solved it by refusing to play by the rules that made them inferior. Supreme One, communications reported. We're receiving a transmission from the human leadership. Put it through. The image of a middle-aged human female appeared on the display, her expression calm despite the chaos surrounding her world. Commander Saktay, I presume. I'm Admiral Sarah Chen, Earth Defense Force. I believe you're experiencing some technical difficulties. Your debris field cannot hold us forever, human. We will adapt. Admiral Chen smiled. Oh, I'm sure you will. But here's the thing about humans, Commander. We've been dealing with our own garbage for centuries. We know exactly how annoying it can be, and we've got a lot more where that came from. As if on cue, the tactical display lit up with new contacts, thousands upon thousands of them emerging from the asteroid belt. Mining equipment, construction debris, the accumulated refuse of 100 colonies across dozens of star systems. You see, Chen continued, we've learned something that your advanced civilization apparently hasn't. Sometimes the best way to solve a problem isn't to build something better. Sometimes the best solution is to make such a mess that nobody else wants to deal with it. Saktay stared at the expanding cloud of human detritus, each piece guided by simple programming, but collectively creating a defensive barrier that their most sophisticated weapons couldn't penetrate. It was inelegant, inefficient, and completely absurd. It was also working. What do you want? Saktay asked. For you to leave, and maybe next time, knock first. The transmission ended, leaving the bridge of the Eternal Fleet flagship in silence. Around them, humanity's trash continued its chaotic dance, turning the space around Earth into a graveyard of civilization's discarded dreams. Dreams that had suddenly found new purpose as the galaxy's most effective defense system. Saktay looked at her tactical display one more time, watching as a 20th century toaster drifted past their view screen, its improvised thrusters firing in completely random directions. Set course for home, she ordered, and send a message to High Command. Tell them we have encountered a species that has successfully weaponized everything they couldn't figure out how to throw away properly. As the Eternal Fleet retreated, humanity's garbage continued its eternal vigil, proving once again that one civilization's trash was another's treasure, and sometimes it was also their salvation.